You guys, give it up for my twin
My
sisters.
zilch, I'm about to win. Go, now and go.
Yes, this is karaoke. That was my favorite song. It was so amazing. So good. So yeah, I am white, obviously. But I do speak a little Spanish. Yeah. ¿Puedes practicar contigo? ¿Listas? ¿Listas? Okay. Soy Clara. Hola. Encantada. Tengo 30 años. Soy de Lincoln Park. Y aprendí español en escuela privada. Yeah, so obviously, I'm very happy to be here. I'm so excited to celebrate Mochi. Happy birthday! Amazing! So earlier today I went to a Pilates class. Has anyone here taken Pilates? Okay, amazing, my people. Well, if you haven't taken Pilates, it's a workout class for women with body dysmorphia. And if you don't know what body dysmorphia is, keep that a secret. So I'm not originally from Chicago, I'm from Washington, D.C. Yeah, proper response, yeah. And I was just with my family. I have a pretty big family, and my cousin was there. And my cousin, he thinks he's so cool because he was in the Air Force. And I'm like, okay, I served too. I was in a sorority. You think I wanted to do that? No, I did that for my country. And my cousin, he like marches over to me and he's like, hey Claire, just so you know, we're not gonna hang out after dinner because I have a new girlfriend. Ow! And I was like, what? And like, just so you know, I've never hung out with my cousin. I've never even considered hanging out with my cousin. I was like, ew, Kyle, we are not those kinds of white people. But how did he meet her, and is she prettier than me? So like I said, I'm not from Chicago, I'm from DC, and I've learned living in the Midwest that it's not like normal to be from DC. No. Apparently everyone here is from Indiana. I don't know where that is. Yeah, but growing up in DC, like a lot of the kids I grew up with, they still live there, they work on the Hill. And this one guy I went to high school with, he actually works for Mitch McConnell. Yeah, boo, yeah. Yeah, and I saw this guy at a wedding a few years ago, and after we like said hello and everything, my ex whispered into my ear and said, that's a good guy to know if we ever get into any trouble. And I was like, we're an interracial relationship. We're already in trouble.
What was he?
Indian. We'll get some jokes there later on. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. I didn't hear what you said, so, okay. Oh my gosh, this dog is really cute. Hi, Riley. Do you want to come live with me? No. Take good care of you. Yeah, but my high school was like kind of different from normal high schools. We didn't have cheerleaders at my school, but we still had like the popular mean girls. But instead of sports, instead of cheerleading, they played lacrosse. They played field hockey. They had eating disorders. I wanted to be just like them. But the thing is, I'm not really competitive enough for sports. I'm too pure of heart. So instead, I decided to go into theater, which is an industry known for having absolutely zero competition. But it was tough being in theater because I was always getting cast in the ensemble, even though I know I'm a star at heart. And that's because I'm an only child. But you guys already knew that about me. I do give off really big only child energy. And I will tell you the worst thing about being an only child is having an older brother. And I don't mean to mislead you all, I pretty much am an only child. My brother is much older than me. My brother's 18 years older than me. Yeah, my brother's the kind of older than me where I think he might secretly be my real dad. And And the thing is, my mom is my brother's stepmom. So you never know. Yeah, my mom really hates that joke. She heard me tell it at a show one time, and she pulled me aside after, and she was like, Claire Malkie, we are not those kinds of white people. But how did you find out, and please don't tell anyone? They would have never let you into private school if they knew your father was your brother. So I'm single. No. But I'm trying to change my perspective on dating. Like I used to think of dating as a lot like going to the library. Anyone could check me out for free. And then forget about me until they get a text 3 months later that says you're overdue. It's like, I know you've been taking out other books. I saw you on the train reading Infinite Jest. That book's not even that pretty. Not that I compare myself to other books, I'm a strong independent book. But now I want dating to be a lot more like going to a theme park. You have to be tall enough to go on the ride. And it'll cost you $165. Yeah, but I don't really use the dating apps anymore. They're the worst. Yeah, the dating apps, they're a lot like going to the DMV. You fill out a bunch of paperwork and no one answers your questions. And it's full of idiots. Yeah, I saw this guy and he had you have the prompts, the questions, and one of his prompts was, what's the biggest risk you've ever taken? And his answer said, quitting my job in finance to take a role in tech. Yeah, changing your LinkedIn status is not a risk. And I really hate that question, what's the biggest risk you've ever taken? Because the only thing it tells me about you is how much of a loser you are. Like I saw this other guy and he said his biggest risk was that he almost went to jail when he was studying abroad in Amsterdam. And I was like, drugs are legal there. Yeah. And I saw this other guy, I used to see this one a lot too, guys would say their biggest risk was moving to Chicago. And I'm like, you're from Schaumburg and you still hang out with your high school friends. Yeah, do you guys want to hear my biggest risk?
Yeah!
Walking alone at night. Yeah, our risks did not compare. But I do really want to like take a break from dating, and I need to take a break because I went on 2 dates with this guy, and he was like really cool, and then he dumped me over text message. So I called him 15 times. And if you're like, Claire, don't worry, everyone calls their ex when they're drunk. I've been sober for 4 years. I made that decision all on my own. Also, that guy was not my ex. We went on 2 dates. He was a stranger. Yeah, and it's really I really want to quit dating, and it's so much easier to quit alcohol than quit dating. Yeah, quitting alcohol is really easy. You just stop going on bachelorette trips. But quitting dating, it's been okay, but I did go through a really big breakup. My ex and I dated for 5 years. Yeah, and my ex is Indian, and so he would ask me all the time. He'd be like, Claire, when we get married, are you going to take my last name? And I was like, aw. No, that's cultural appropriation. Could you imagine if Val brought me up on stage and said, welcome to the stage, Claire Vishwakumar. And then I came on stage? He'd be like, not this white bitch, please. Has anyone in here dated a coworker before? Okay, you're all liars. I know you have. So I've dated a coworker before. His name was Colin. I was 22. He was 25. And on our first date, he told me he had a girlfriend that died in a car accident. So I went home with him. And we get to his house, and his room is covered with pictures of his ex. Yeah, he has a frame of her next to his bed, and her obituary was hung up on the wall. And I hadn't seen that episode of Sex and the City yet, so I didn't know what I was getting into. And then afterwards, I went home and I went on the dead girl's Instagram. I had to check out the competition. And I found a picture from their anniversary or something, and she had a pet name for him, for Colin. Her pet name for him was Columbine. Yeah, he dumped me after 3 weeks, and yet I cried about it for a year and a half. But you guys don't worry, he turned out to be a total predator, so I really dodged a bullet. Yeah, didn't even have to hide in the library. So yeah, I've dated some really wild people. Actually, my ex from high school was at the insurrection. Yeah, so I turned him into the FBI. Thank you. I also turned in my cousin. He wasn't there, it just seemed like the right thing to do. All right, y'all have been amazing. Give it up for Mochi, give it up for Val.